friends, Sleepy here. Welcome to another episode of the weekly playlist. It's Friday, so it's time for another one of these. This week I've been on a big PlayStation 1 kick. I've been playing a lot of PlayStation 1 games this week, and I've been having a blast. I have 5 here that I want to share with you guys, let you guys know my thoughts and opinions on them. Of course, I would like to hear what your guys' thoughts and opinions are on these games that I share. And if you guys have any recommendations for games you think I should pick up and play, please let me know. Always like finding and discovering new games to check out. First game I've been playing this week is Crash Team Racing, which I love the Crash racing games. They're a lot of fun. I like them just as much as I do Mario Kart games, and some of these I actually like a little bit more because I feel they have a little bit more content to them than some of the older Mario Kart games. This one has 25 tracks in it. It's got 5 different game modes. You have the adventure mode, which is really fun to play through. You have verse modes. You can do one-on-one races. You have time trial, so you go through, try to get the fastest time. There's also the arcade mode, where you're just basically racing through, and then you have battle mode, where you could battle with other players. And this is actually a 4-player game if you have the multi-tap, which I do have in the multi-tap. Now, I didn't have anybody over here to play the game with, but it's really fun. There's like 15 characters total in this game. But you do have to unlock. I think there's only like 8 or 9 available at the beginning, and then the other ones you have to unlock through adventure mode and stuff. But some of the characters, you have Crash, which is my favorite. You have Coco, you have Cortex, Tiny, Dingle Engine, Pora, Polar, and then there's other secret characters and stuff. I definitely have not had locked everybody. Played through several different races on this, but had a lot of fun. I like the different items because they're in those little blocks that are in the Crash Bandicoot games, and it has all the sounds and stuff from the Crash Bandicoot series, and it's a really fun kart racer. Highly recommend Crash Team Racing. Cannot go wrong with it. Really good game, and I do like the way it controls, and I like the characters, sounds, everything's really fun. And they actually are going to be remaking this game in the HD remake this year for Xbox One, PS4, and Nintendo Switch. I think it comes out in like June or something towards the end, so I'll definitely have to look into picking that up because love this game, and this is actually one of my favorite in the Crash racing series. Definitely recommend that one. Very good game. Next up, now I hadn't played this one in a long time, and that was Covert Ops Nuclear Dawn. Very cool game. It's a double disc game. You take the role as Jack. You're a NATO soldier that has the task of going onto a NATO train that has been hijacked by terrorists, and they have like the ambassador, I think it's the French ambassador, and he was going to Russia. Well, he's on there, his daughter and wife are on there, and you have to save them and stop the terrorists from launching missiles to destroy the world. And they want like $50 billion, million, I don't remember what the amount now was, but it was pretty high. Played through here for a little while. It was a fun game. It's a third person like shooter stealth adventure puzzle game. It kind of reminds me play style kind of like a Resident Evil, Dino Crisis, kind of plays like Metal Gear Solid. Really fun game. Now, I know when this game first came out, people didn't really like it, but I definitely would suggest pick it up if you like those kind of third-person adventure games where you're shooting and there's stealth and stuff. Give it a try. It's really fun. I remember my brother and I got to a point in the game where there's a train. We just couldn't figure a way around it, and the internet wasn't that big back then in the late 90s. We still had dial-up and stuff, so we never did actually fully beat it. So, now I can go online, the guide, and figure out what to do. But I remember we got stuck. But it's really fun, so I had fun going through this. Played it for about an hour. Did say that it has, multiple decisions and there's different outcomes, so you can actually play the game more than once and do different things. There's boss fights and stuff. Really fun game, though. I would definitely recommend, if you're interested in third-person adventure games, try out Covert Ops Nuclear Dawn. You can't go wrong. It's a cheap game, too. $5 to $10 at most to get a copy of this. Really fun. Definitely recommend you guys check it out. Next game I play this week was Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And this is one of my favorite Castlevania games. You play as Alucard, which is Dracula's son. And you have to go through Dracula's castle. A lot of enemies. It says there's over 140 different enemies and bosses. Magic spells. You can do hidden weapons. Great graphics, too, for being a 32-bit game on the PlayStation. It was a change from the older ones, like on the NES and Super Nintendo, which were real linear. This one, you can go through the mansion on your own and do different stuff. Go through different quests, stuff like that. Very, very fun game. I absolutely love this. I played this for a little while. Definitely one that I'm going to have to sink some time into and actually beat it, because I never did beat it as a kid. Uh, I owned it and then I got rid of it years ago. And then, God, I probably might even been like 10 years ago now. I got this at a thrift store for like $3 or $4. It's a hell of a deal and was in really good condition. But Castlevania Symphony Night, if you're a fan of Castlevania games and you have never played this one, I highly recommend get Castlevania Symphony Night on the PlayStation 1. Very good game, and it controls really well. I like all the power-ups. I like all the weapons, has RPG elements and stuff to it. Very fun title, though. Get Castlevania Symphony of Night. You will not go wrong. Just be warned, though, this is about a $20, $30 game. At least here in my area at the local game stores it is, because it's really popular. But that's a great game. Played a fighting game that I haven't played in a while, and that was Street Fighter Alpha 3, which I love Street Fighter games, and Street Fighter Alpha 3 was great. I have the first Street Fighter Alpha on the Sega Saturn, but I got number 3 on the PlayStation 1. I got this when I was in high school, like 2001 or 2002 time, from a local game store. It was $10. Still has a sticker on there. This was like $40, $50 now in my area, so glad I have it. Has like 25 fighters, and there's 3 different fighting styles, and overall, just one of my favorite Street Fighter games. I like the story mode and the battling and everything. Character design, really good game. If you've not played the Alpha series, I definitely recommend it. It's a really good series. I need to get Street Fighter Alpha 2 sometime, because I haven't played that one in a long time and I don't own it, so I'd really like to get it. I definitely recommend Street Fighter Alpha 3. Akuma is one of my favorite characters in this. Blanka is also awesome. E Honda, Ryu, and Ken, of course. So definitely recommend Street Fighter Alpha 3. Great fighting game. I've had a lot of fun with it. Highly recommend you guys get it. And then the last game I've been playing, this is a really fun one. I actually beat this in the 90s. My buddy Bobby, when I used to live in Arizona, and that was Ape Escape, which this is a fun little game. There's actually a bunch of games after this in this series. I have a couple of them, but my favorite is always this original first one. I hadn't played this one in years, and it's really fun. So there's this white monkey named Spectre. He gets like a helmet, and it makes him super intelligent, and though he decides he wants to take over the world, so he gets other apes and puts these little helmets on them where they have little different colored lights on it, and it makes them intelligent, and he sends them out to capture the world. So you play as the protagonist with this doctor and this girl, and your job is to go capture all the apes, and there's like 200 different apes. You have stuff, different gadgets. There's a tank, you have a remote control car, there's a stun club, time net, skyflyer, slingshot, monkey radar, and more. There's also a big like mech vehicle you can get into, and it uses the dual shock controller to actually control when you throw the net down to capture these monkeys. And it's really cool if the monkeys notice you as you're in the world. You have to try to sneak up on them. Their little lights will light up and they'll scream and go around and fight you because they don't want to be captured. So your job is to go through and capture all the different apes. I only played this a little bit, but it's really fun, and I did beat it years ago, so I definitely need to go through and actually beat this. It's a pretty long game, though. It's going to take you some time to try to capture them, and some of these monkeys can be very tricky for you to sneak up and capture them, but really, really fun game. I highly recommend. Check out Ape Escape. It's a great series. I said there's other ones, Ape Escape 2 and 3, and there's a bunch of spin-off games and stuff released, and PlayStation Portable. I think there's even a PlayStation 4 Ape Escape game. And some of these apes and stuff do cameo in some other games as well. Definitely recommend Ape Escape. It was such a fun little silly game. Trying to capture all these different crazy apes as they try to take over the world. A very fun game. Definitely recommend that. And as always, we'll do our real quick recap of the games I played. Crash Team Racing, very fun kart racer. Definitely up there with the likes of Mario Kart and stuff. Very fun, has great characters, a lot of good courses. Definitely would recommend that. Covert Ops, Nuclear Dawn, third person adventure shooter stealth type game. Like I said, it plays like the Resident Evil, Dino Crisis, Metal Gear Solid type of game. Really fun. Definitely recommend that. Castlevania Symphony of the Night, classic Castlevania game for the PlayStation 1. You play as Alucard, Dracula's son, going through his castle. A lot of RPG elements, leveling up, different weapons, spells, stuff you can get. Tons of different enemies, monsters, bosses. Excellent game. Highly recommend that. Good fighting game here. Street Fighter Alpha 3. Had a lot of fun. Has some great characters, different move sets and stuff. Highly recommend this one. and Ape Escape. You know, you're trying to capture apes who want to take over the world. Really fun game. Uses the dual analog sticks really well. Fantastic game. It'll keep you busy for a long time, and it's a great start to the series. So, if you guys have played any of these 5 games, you know, let me know what your guys' thoughts and opinions are on these games. You know, have you played them yet? And what were your thoughts on them? I'd love to hear from you. And if you guys have any recommendations on games you think I should play, please let me know. Always like hearing from you guys. Want to thank you for watching. Take care. Have an amazing day. And Sleepy, we'll see you guys next time.